Well, another 3 night run complete. We are getting down to the nitty gritty, as the song says, in this tour. Headed back to New York after this 3 night run in Chicago, it was at the United Center. This is the Phish Summer Tour of 2025. All right, so how did we get started tonight? Cars, Trucks, and Buses, a popular call amongst fans as an opener. I don't know about tonight, a lot in Philadelphia at the Man for sure. But here we go, we get it night 3 in Chicago, not back on the train. A lot of people also thought that. So let's forget about what people were thinking the opener would be and move on to what was the second song, AC/DC Bag. Almost felt like a second opener. Maybe sometimes if the first song is not too long, maybe you'll get a second song that also could fill the role as an opener. We get a little back to back here. Funky Bich coming through. I believe our first one this summer. I say I believe because I've been getting that wrong. Don't even know why I say that. And it's still like a Mike song. It's kind of felt like a Mike show, really. Not the extended Mike's Groove, really. But starting with this here, one of Mike's favorite covers, he completely changed the tone in Fuego. So coming off the shelf here, Alaska as well. And this, by the time we got to the last these first 4 songs felt like a bunch of crap, really. But up to this point, it was feeling like a really good set. I'm into Alaska. I don't know how people feel about Alaska, really, but I'm an Alaska fan. Then we get over here into Mike's Groove, wondering, but was it really? Not really recognizable as a Mike's Groove proper. So we get through the mics here. We get onto it, and it was a pretty furious mics, but nothing too crazy, really. This mics into horn making an appearance. Horn is, and I didn't do this purposely. Just a lot of songs in the first set. Something had to get shorted. It was Horn, and you know what it is? People that ask me, "What is it you don't like about Horn?" It's the very end. It just ends on such a sour note for me. That is part of it for sure. That hit me tonight. Oh, but just made me a little sick to my stomach. But thankfully, here she comes, Reba. And, if this is a part I don't like the end of, boy, that Reba jam, that is certainly a lot of my favorite stuff tonight here. The Reba jam, we get a taste, a Jibboo opening the set. So if I was heavy high on this show, it was because I got a lot of my favorite stuff. And then Leaves, we got Thread the other night. You had to kind of figure Leaves was coming. And sure enough, we get a Leaves. And, maybe another one of these songs that over time it has aged it has aged fine. Like, what am I trying to say? Like a wine or something, Unlike milk. Some songs do age like milk, unfortunately. It's weird. You get a little reverse, and then you get a song like Leaves. All right, let's not spend too much time on Leaves. Well, it did hit the spot tonight. Like I said, these final 4 songs, starting with Reba, really blew the first 4 out of the water tonight, because then here comes Taste raging through. And one of the songs just played, they don't even have to mess around too much. Taste, Reba, Jibboo, several songs tonight that don't need anything. Just play them as they are, and it's a fantastic song. Izabella, no need to play with Halloween tonight. Izabella ending the set. And as our cover song, not the only cover song, we got Mike's favorite here. I believe those were the only 2. Okay, so a strong first set. Maybe not as strong as some of the others that I've really loved this tour, but overall, some good stuff in there that I'm a big fan of. All right, so let's move over here to set 2 once again. Maybe it was just me having a lot of personal favorites tonight, Although there were some points. There were a couple of points where you could hear the crowd. Maybe I think it was in the Reba jam, even over Trey's guitar. Paige and Trey hitting that crescendo at the end. I mean, you could hear the crowd approval. I don't know if it was a roar. I don't know what you call it. But definitely thousands of people at once feeling it. And you could hear that and even feel it on Couch Tour. Jibboo, really. Just like I was saying, just do it. Just do it. Just play the song as it is all it really needs. It doesn't necessarily need to be a big jam vehicle. You don't need to back up the jambulance. Just play Jibboo. And it's one of my favorite. Outside of the Hall of Fame songs, Fluffhead, YEM, Mike's Groove, things of this nature. Jibboo and Taste, probably at the very top of my list up there as the All-American songs, but not quite Hall of Famers. Fuego trying to work its way in there, just won't go away. That's such a great 2024. You would think that maybe that something else would take its place, and what's going through your mind seems to be as one of the best songs of the year. But this Fuego is just like, we're not quite done with it. You know, the first part of the Fuego jam was the most like type 1, type 2 jam I've ever heard. And then at some point, like I mentioned, Mike changed his tone, just changed the direction of the song, got weird for a while, and then just continues to go and grow. And then they found something like it got like it had more, it just had more of that classic rock kind of feel to it. And then unfortunately the party had to end with Sparkle though. By the end of it, Trey was as red as this marker here. I don't know if it was from embarrassment or just going crazy on the song. Sense and Subtle Sounds, what a great intro Sense and Subtle Sounds had tonight. It was like, not that the song kept going, but that intro. Wish they'd just play it like that every single time and maybe play the song a little more. Jam started out very subtle, didn't end so subtle though. It picked up into Twist, and then you would think at this point of the night, seeing Twist there, like it's going to be maybe serve that light roll where it's just going to kind of gonna get through to Twist real quick, but it wasn't. It built, kind of rolled on, and then Lizards after the Twist. So they certainly were trying to give us our money's worth here. You know, at some point in this part of the show, like last night, perhaps I was wrong, but last night it was like, yeah, you know, that final quarter, just sometimes it's a little weaker. People want to blame age, the heat, all sorts of things. Last night, so Lizards coming in here, that solo at the end, really the whole song nearly just, but Trey's solo at the end, nearly perfect, if not perfect. You know, there's maybe if I really wanted to nitpick, there was one spot I was like, it wasn't perfect. Mostly it was great though. Shine a Light after that, Kill Devil Falls, the companion to Chalk Dust Torture, ending the set, and maybe not, you know, if you wanted to compare last night's Chalk Dust to this Kill Devil Falls, both filling the same role, ending the set, just burning the place down, taking a flamethrower to everybody, and then calming us all the way back down. They even had to bust out a megaphone for Fee here, Trey did, into Weekapaug, wondering at this point, will we ever get the Weekapaug? Will we have to wait until to be continued, really, on the Weekapaug? But not the case after the Fee, a welcomed Fee, and got a false start in the Weekapaug. What was going on there exactly? You know, it was, I don't know if that was a little joke or if what was going on there at the start of Weekapaug. And then what felt like a forced by Trey, Say It To Me Santos. Absolutely no need for that. You know, as the Weekapaug was going on with Fee and Weekapaug, I was thinking, what a great encore. I'm going to mention what a great encore this is. Take it down a notch, Say It To Me Santos. Absolutely no need for that on a night just like tonight. It was 20 years ago. Tell them Large Mike sent you. Every now and then, maybe not so guilty of it tonight, but I have been noticing this tour. I sometimes think Mike's trying to stuff himself into some 2023 jeans. Loosen up. I mean, it hasn't affected the playing, and perhaps that's what some of the great playing is all about. This was a Mike night. At Fuego, you know, Twist, was it a yay or an A? It was a yay. Lots going on tonight. Shine a Light. Izabella. All right, that's it. We got a day off, on to New York, and then a lot of days off. And then more shows. You know the schedule. I don't know why I'm going over the schedule tonight. No cats tonight. Oh, there goes the Sharpie. Floppy, he was in, he was out. He stayed awake through the whole show, though. He's playing at the door. Wanted out. Played at the door from outside. So there's your cat update. Did we get a cat reference tonight? Or a dog, for that matter? I'm not seeing anything jump out at me, cats and dogs. Probably something staring me right in the face, though. Whew. Sharpie is thick in the air, you know? It's like that guy in Apocalypse Now. Love the smell of Sharpie late night or something. Boom, we're out of here. Love you guys. Thanks for tuning in all summer, and hopefully you continue to. Boom.